Welcome to ZKast, everyone. I'm Z.S. Caravallo from ZK Research, and I'm here at Mobile World Congress 2024 in Barcelona. I'm joined today by Greg Schoeny, who's the SVP of Global Service Provider for Worldwide Technology, also known as WWT. Greg, a quick bio on yourself.
Z.S., first of all, thanks for the opportunity to catch up today. So, Greg Schoeny, SVP of the Global Service Provider business at WWT. This includes our business with our large Tier 1 carriers, cable, MSO, media, gaming. I've been in and around the SP business for about 25 years.
So, as I said, we're here at, this is day 2 of MWC. Any quick takeaways from the show yet?
Mobile world AI is what I would say. You know, every year there's a theme, and certainly apropos, this year it's all about AI. But in all seriousness, it's a terribly exciting time for our large SP customers to think about leveraging AI, not just for how they communicate with their customers and their employees, but how they run their networks. We've been thinking about automation use cases and cloud and edge, and all these different technology areas have been colliding together for the past number of years. And to me, it seems like the AI message is beginning to unify some of these different technology areas and has the potential to bring them to life.
Yeah, so it's interesting that you called it AI, because I think that's what everybody would do here, right? But I'd argue that there's a bigger theme here, and that really is the realization of telco transformation. The show has been about telco transformation ever since I've been coming to it, and it seems that we've been in a place where we've had some of the pieces, but not all the pieces, and now AI became that missing piece that allows telcos to actually change their business model, create those new revenue-producing services. And so, where do you think we are in this journey to help telcos become more digital?
Well, I think it's a very acute comment, and when I think about transformation, I can sit here and talk about outcomes, right?
Yes.
And you'll even smile and say, "Okay, that's great, Greg."
Everyone talks about
what are we talking about? What I'm excited about is I think the application of AI in certain use cases that are specific to the telco's business, how to operate your network more efficiently, potentially, how to drive revenue into your business services operation, has incredible potential. I think the other thing that's happening is, it's a fiercely competitive environment when I think about the large Tier 1 operators. And so how can AI help them to be competitive in their space?
Yeah. And so there's two sides to the AI coin. You talked about one of them being a way to optimize the infrastructure, lower costs. But then, so before I get to the second one, I guess talk a little bit about that. Where are they applying AI primarily to help them with those the optimization efforts?
Let me take a step back, because I think this informs the answer a bit. We have about 1,000-person data science practice that's been around for the past 10 to 15 years. Includes AI ops, large-scale software development, and this is work we've been doing enterprise-grade, large banks, service providers, manufacturing, in the public sector, and that business has grown for us. These are building data models, doing cloud migration, and something happened this last year where all of a sudden this big data science business we had became this AI business.
Yeah.
So when I think about now...
ChatGPT,
right, GPT-4.
Yeah.
So the work we've been doing for years around large-scale data programs now has this generative AI layer on top, and the interest has become incredible, and yet in order to get the AI right, you got to get the data right. In order to get the data right, you got to know what's there, how to set it up, how to secure it, and there's just a lot under the covers. And we're seeing our customers need a lot of help across the portfolio.
Yeah, and then so the other side of the AI coin is how you use it to create more revenue-producing services and change your business, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you see the opportunity there for service providers?
Well, here the past few years, I'll take the example of network slicing, right? You come in and people are talking about network slicing, and has it really gone anywhere? Has Open RAN gone anywhere? Some would argue that yes, it has, but maybe not at scale. But now think about AI, and think about a large service provider being able to deliver some sort of new service in a very flexible, nimble way to one of their large enterprise customers, to one of their public sector customers, by slicing off a part of the network, putting certain performance characteristics in place, leveraging AI to deliver that more efficiently. Now you could say, okay, well, let's go down and talk about what that looks like in manufacturing. Let's talk about what that looks like in retail. But we're seeing even that conversation advance significantly from where that was just a couple years ago.
Yeah, that is interesting, because I do think trying to do network slicing without AI would be so operationally heavy that I'm not sure it would be worth it. But now you can automate that, right?
Right.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
And that's pretty exciting for the operators. Another topic here is multi-cloud, right? And when you think of when I think of where customers are with the multi-cloud journeys, I think a lot of customers are using multiple clouds, but not really embrace multi-cloud. But I'm starting to see a lot of them interested in that today, right? And so that puts a lot of value in the choice of the service provider you make. And so talk about that opportunity where how a service provider might help their customers actually realize the vision of multi-cloud.
Well, let me talk about what we're seeing, because I think that informs kind of a perspective on the multi-cloud opportunity. We're seeing many of our large service providers that over the last number of years have pushed out certain workloads, many to the public cloud or to a hybrid cloud environment, and now are turning around and saying, look at what I'm spending here, right? And so they're now coming back and dissecting and saying, what potentially should live in the public cloud, what should live in a hybrid cloud, what should potentially live on-prem, right? And then what are the security implications around that? In some cases, and it's narrow and remains to be seen, we're seeing some workloads actually come back.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Because not everything runs in public cloud, right? Yeah.
The other thing that we're really excited about is some really exciting announcements this week with many of the chip manufacturers around training these models, right? And the type of centralized compute you need. But then if you think about inference at the edge,
yes,
right? And so is that going to bring kind of a hybrid cloud edge environment to life? And again, these themes, a lot of the tech jargon, it's been colliding together over the past number of years. And this is the first time, I think, in a number of years that we're seeing it kind of consolidate into some themes, and it seems to be centered around AI.
Yeah, to me, AI inferencing is the perfect opportunity for the telco, because obviously, if you're going to do cloud-based inferencing, you use a hyperscaler for that, but they don't own the footprint there, right? Where that real estate is owned by the telco, and for a service provider, it seems like that's an ideal opportunity to insert themselves in some really high-value types of services.
It sure is, and lest we not forget, I mean, we can talk about the technology all day, but business services is at the heart of the growth plan for all of our service providers.
Yeah.
So there's a race to figure out, how are you more competitive to go build your business with your large enterprises, but then how could you potentially leverage AI to have less people deliver more services to a wider swath of, let's say, SMBs or mid-sized enterprises?
Yeah, and so I think that's interesting where how Edge and AI have come together, and I actually think that Edge drives AI and AI drives Edge. So
totally agree.
And one more topic I want to hit on, and that's 5G. Right, we're hearing a lot about 5G here. The rollouts for most operators are actually done now, for the most part. But now there's been a lot of discussion in the industry about private 5G, how you bring 5G into the enterprise. Are you seeing a lot of interest there from your customers?
I think on a macro level, 5G, the hype for so long, right? The results, did it meet the hype? I don't know. I don't know.
4G at the same time.
4G, right? And now I saw something on 6G.
Yeah.
A private 5G is a particularly interesting technology, and we see the opportunity with a lot of our large service provider customers. What if I could deliver a private 5G service to a manufacturing facility? And what would that look like, and how could I monetize it? I worried last year when we were here, though, that again the hype was kind of getting ahead of itself, because there's a usefulness of Wi-Fi in some of these environments.
Wi-Fi is not perfect by any means.
It's not perfect by any means, but if you take a manufacturing floor in which you've got some machines that require high definition video, very low latency, critical infrastructure, like that's a great use case for private 5G system. But maybe that's in cooperation with some sort of existing Wi-Fi system. The thing I think you can't overlook as well, and coming from a bit of an enterprise background, is these environments, they have to work purposely very, very well. You can't go in there and start taking down systems and rebuilding private 5G. So in order for this to work and scale in an enterprise environment, the service providers certainly have an opportunity to kind of package up these solutions, take them to market, and then maybe build a level of customization on top of it.
All right, you know what, Greg? I lied. Actually, I do want to talk about one more topic, and that's cybersecurity.
Yeah, sure.
Right? And in fact, there's probably no industry that changes faster than security. I am seeing a lot of enterprises now interested in bringing networking and security together. And again, that seems like it's an opportunity for our global service providers to actually embed security in the network, right? So what have your discussions with the service providers been like in this area?
Oh gosh, great question.
Yeah.
So when we think about security, it has to be interwoven into the overall fabric of the service provider's environment.
Versus the overlay model that has
overlay
never
model.
really worked, right?
I have zero customers coming at me on a weekly basis asking for another security tool.
Yeah.
They're basically saying, hey, how do I secure my environment more effectively, reduce my mean time to detect and respond, remediate threats, use the tool sets more effectively, the telemetry I already have in place, but pull that together in a cohesive manner. The other thing I think that we have to remember is that service providers are running critical infrastructure, and they are tied to every facet, not just of business, but of society, of the public sector, right? And these are very vulnerable systems if not properly secured. And so it's very complex. We like to go through a basic process with a lot of our large customers to kind of understand where are they along the maturity scale of security. Are they halfway along the page and they're working on some very sophisticated kind of models? Are they just starting with basic patching? And so how can we help them to accelerate and secure the environment in a more effective way?
Yeah, again, it's the embedding of security in the network, I think, is the only real way to truly combat cybercrime the way it is today. And again, another excellent opportunity for service providers. So while AI may seem like the overall theme here, we've got AI, we've got MultiCloud, we got 5G and cybersecurity. And so it seems like all those things are creating that perfect storm that our global service providers needed to actually take this vision of transformation and make it a reality.
That's right. And you know, AI is a great example. If you think about the intersection with security from a threat perspective, it's terrifying to think about it. But also,
the bad guys using AI.
The bad guys using it. But also, how can you use AI and security to defend yourself more effectively? So, you know, I'm beginning to think about AI almost like electricity. We're going to be talking about electricity in a couple of years. It's just embedded into the types of things that we need to do.
Yeah,
so,
not agree with that. So that's good. All right. Anything else you want to add?
No, ZKast, thanks a lot. It's great to catch up. Really appreciate it.
No, I think, and I certainly appreciate all the work WWE does with all the big service providers helping them along this journey. So So on behalf of Greg, I'm ZKast Caravalis, and thanks for watching. Please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time on my next episode of ZKast.